there, folks. Can everybody see and hear me? Please raise your hand. Alright, sounds good. Got a busy day planned for today. We are going to finish up HTML by making our Google Sites page, and we are going to start discussing more about bridges. We will also discuss a contest that we will be doing over this next week in using a bridge designing software. So I'll get to that momentarily. Before we get started, we posted on Edmodo asking you to download the bridge making software. Show of hands, who has downloaded the bridge design software? Alright, that's kind of what I expected. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you do check Edmodo. I would suggest every day we have class, because we do post announcements on things that we need for you to do for class. One of those things was to download this bridge making software. Okay, so in the chat box I have sent you the link to this software. I want you all to click that link and download whichever software works for your computer. Now notice that the only two options are for Windows computers and for Macintosh computers. That means if you're on an iPad, it's not going to work. If you're on a Linux machine, it's not going to work. We will not be using this software today, but on Wednesday you will need to have this software downloaded on a computer where it can run. For those who can, I would like for you to download this now. So just please get in the habit of checking Edmodo periodically. I also sent a link to our channel, so if you're not going to be here, you do have a link to it. It's not like you have to search for it. I literally posted it on Edmodo for your convenience. So I see a question. You just got on. What did you miss? Alright, I'll send the link one more time. I want you all to download this bridge design software, because we will be using it on Wednesday and for a contest. Again, it's only for Windows or Mac. No iPad, no Linux machines. You will need to find a Windows or Mac computer for Wednesday so you can follow along. Please raise your hand once you've gotten the download started, so I know when I can move forward. This link is also posted on Edmodo. If you go to Edmodo, oops, let me log in real quick. Oh, I cannot spell. I see a question. You've already installed it? Alright, great. Then you don't have to do anything. If you haven't already installed it, please do that. Again, it's on our Edmodo page, bridgecontest.org. You can find the download link under local contests and then current contest software. So again, once you started installing it, go ahead, raise your hand so I can proceed. And if you can't install it, raise your hand. Like I said, you'll need to have this installed by Wednesday on a computer that is either Windows or Mac. Alright. So I see another question. Got it? Alright, cool. So I won't go into that right now. We're not going to be using this for the moment. Like I said, we do have kind of a busy day today because we're going to go over making our Google site and starting the bridge section of our class, including introducing our design challenge, which has a prize to it, so get excited. Another thing is, we will be getting our Raspberry Pis to you within our next 2 labs. So it's within the next 3-4 weeks you will be getting your Raspberry Pis. Alright, so let's get started with Google Sites here. Google Sites, we're using that to make our digital portfolio. I hope everybody has a Google account, not necessarily a Gmail account, but just a Google account, so that we can do this. So I'm assuming everybody has this, or already has a Google account. If not, I'll be kind of sad because we did this the first day. So I'll skip all this stuff here. If you don't have a Google account, here is a video that shows you how to make one, and I really hope that nobody has to use this. A Gmail account does count. You just have to make sure you have a Google account. Gmail is part of Google account, so you're all good. So what I want you all to do now is go to sites.google.com, which I will again send in the chat box for you. So you all haven't probably made a page yet with Google Sites, so your page is going to look different than mine here. It might look something like this here, but it will have a big old button that says Get Started. So let's go ahead and click on Get Started, or whatever it may be that's on your screen that indicates we can proceed. Once you have a page made already, it'll look sort of like this. You can create further pages by clicking on Create. So quick show of hands, has everybody gotten to sites.google.com and selected Create a Page? Or whatever it may say, I'm not entirely sure. Alright. When you do that, you should get a page that looks something sort of like this. It has a couple of templates. You have the option to name your site and give a URL to your site. So you already know the overview of a site. So what I want you to do, after I answer this question, that is, can you put the link back up for a second to sites.google.com? You don't have to use Chrome, no. So the link is, I'll just send it to you. So what I want you all to do after you click Get Started, I want you to click on a blank template. These templates sort of would make it a little bit easier to make this site, but because we just did all that HTML stuff, I really want you to start with a blank page so you can customize it as you'd like. So let's go ahead and select blank template, and we're going to name your site. We're going to name it with your last name, and then Y-E-O-T. Go ahead and type that in, and notice that the site location will update to that URL. I'm going to give you just a second to write your name here. If your name doesn't work for some reason, put the month and day of your birth at the end of it. For example, mine would be 4/2/9. That's my birthday. Do you need the Y-E-O-T? I would suggest it because if you don't put it, your URL is just going to be your last name, and I don't know if it's going to work. So good question. Definitely keep the Y-E-O-T just for now. Do we need a theme? I'm going to suggest a theme, yes. I'm going to choose the simple theme for now, but you can choose whatever theme you'd like. Keep in mind your page is going to look different if you choose a theme that's different than mine. You will not need to worry about this More Options drop-down menu. but you will need to select that you are not a robot. Unless you are a robot. Is anyone here a robot? I didn't think so. Oh, come on. Alright, well, in that case, you're sentient enough to use Google Sites, so go ahead and just click it anyway. Learned a lot about you guys today. Robots in our midst. So let's go ahead and click on Create on the top left of our screen. It's this red button that I already clicked. And if you already have made a URL, if there's already a URL made, for example, my last name and YEOT didn't work, add your birth date. You're still not a robot. And it should take you to a page that looks something like this. Everybody see what I'm looking at now? Something like this, maybe with your name instead. You don't need to worry about writing the site description yet. You can always edit that later. So did that, did simple theme. We already know what Google Sites is. Get a page that looks like this. Alright. So I want to draw your attention now to the upper right side of your screen. There's a couple buttons. The first that says Edit, the next that says Create, and a gear that says More Actions. This is what we're going to be looking at right now. So go ahead and click on this gear on the upper right side of your screen. We're going to scroll down to Manage Site. So let me show it over here. More options. There's this gear. Manage Site. If you all remember that whole spiel I did last week about internet safety, we're still going to be taking that into account. Alright? So on this Manage Site page, you're going to see something that looks like this. And that's wonderful. You can change your site name at this time now. You can write a description or a notice, but I'm not going to give you any time to do that now. You can always do that later. But what I want you to do on this left side of the screen, I want you to click on Sharing and Permissions. Right now what we've got is that everybody on the web can access your page. Anyone can find it, anyone can view it. If you guys remember what I said about internet safety, we only want people that you share it with to be able to see your page. So let's go ahead and click on Change next to the public on the web. And click Off for specific people. And save it. You can choose certain emails that can view it. I'd recommend putting your parents' email in there, for example, just as can view. Even my email would be nice to have just so I could see your pages if you wanted, but you don't have to worry about that now. As long as you make sure that only you have access, everything will be all good. So any questions on that, on setting your page to private? Can I put my email in chat one more time? Yes, I can. You might notice this is a different email. This is my email for you all. saunders.yeot@gmail.com. So let's go ahead and hit that back button that has your name, YEOT, or whatever your title of your screen is, or of your page is, sorry. It's going to be corresponding to right here for your page. And we should see something that looks a bit like this, again with your name on it instead. Let's go ahead and click on Edit Page. It's the pencil icon. So this is going to be your, hang on, let me see if I'm on the right place right now. Oops, alright, my bad. Wrong thing. And I see a question. What if you name yours your cool website? Definitely, you can name it whatever you want. We were just naming it this at first so we can get your URL to look correct. And you can always change this at any time. So, I misspoke there. I don't want you to hit Edit Page. I want you to click on More Actions one more time. And I want you to click on Edit Site Layout. So I'll show you that one more time. More Actions. It's right above Manage Site. So here's actually where we can start doing a bit of customization for our page. For example, we can click on this header button. You're still lost at the Create New Site. Are you on this screen here? Let me find it. Not here, hang on. Are you on this screen here? Alright, have you named your site, your name, and then YEOT? Alright. At the bare minimum, I want you to have at least a site made, and by that I mean getting past this step, because anything beyond here you can watch in our YouTube video of the lesson today. Like I said, I know I'm going fast. We do have a lot of stuff to cover, and I want to make sure that we get to the bridges today. Once you typed in your name and then YEOT, I want you to click Select a Theme. And you can click whatever you want as a theme, but I use Simple. Use Ember? That's great. Whichever one you want to use will be fine. Then make sure you click that you're not a robot. And then at the top of your screen, click on this red Create button. And you'll get a page that looks like this. So what I want you to do at this time, once you've done that, go to More Actions, and then Edit Site Layout. What I was showing earlier is that you can add or subtract your header, which is going to be your name or whatever cool site thing you made yours. Notice that it's enabled when it's bolded in and disabled when it's not. So you can go ahead and play with that now. It really doesn't matter if you have one of these, it's just something cool to edit. Where was I? So if you want to edit your header, if you do have a header, what you can do is click on it. Footer is kind of like it's kind of like a header, but on the the bottom of the page. It will have something that looks like this on it. This is what your footer is right now, just by default. You can make yourself a custom footer if you'd like. That'll say whatever you want it to. So let's edit our header first. You can make your header bigger or smaller, and you can even add a custom logo if you want to. For example, Ms. Dubik, who created this slideshow, added a adorable cat picture. She aligned it as the theme default, meaning that your theme, it's where it's aligned vertically will be dependent on your theme. And then if you do want to choose a logo, which again, I'm not asking you to do this right now, I would put it in the center so that it centers your logo on your page. So it would look sort of like this. Okay. Any questions on this? I know, again, I'm going very quick. Where did she get the cat logo? I am not entirely sure, to be honest. What's it called? Yeah. I'm not entirely sure where she got that. I'm sure she just Googled it. You can't edit yours. Can you show it again? Yes, I can. So to get into the site layout, you'll need to go to More Actions, and then Edit Site Layout. And if you want to edit your header, you can click on it while it's enabled. So if your header's not enabled, you won't be able to click on it. So to edit the page layout, More Actions, Edit Site Layout. Yeah, no problem. And from here you can click wherever you'd like to edit in terms of header, sidebar, and the footer. Okay. And you're going to want to keep it simple for sure. The more complex it gets, the more confused you'll get. That's really how it goes. So what we've done now is we've created a very, very basic home page for your website. Now, we basically created just a web page. A website is a collection of web pages, which are connected just by, URL. So while we have a home page, all we have now is our home page. So let's go ahead and hit close in the upper right hand side of your screen. And next to the edit button, let's click on the create page button. It's in the upper right side of your screen. This create a page button is actually going to create a page within the site you've made. Okay, it's not going to create a whole new website, it's going to be just a page in it. So I see a question. Oop. You created it but it doesn't have your name in it even though you named it. What do you mean it doesn't have your name in it even though you named it? Alright, and that's fine. What I named this at the top, this is just the name for my page. The name for the URL for your site might be different than the name on the top of your page, and that's okay. So even though it doesn't have my name at the top, don't worry about it. We're going to name this page About Me, because it's going to be a page about you. Well, this one's about me, but the rest is going to be about you. We're going to select a template called Web Page. It's going to look like a good old web page, surprise, surprise. And sorry, real quick. And we're going to put our page at the top level. Now what this means is if I hit create, it's going to be not a subset of the home page, it's going to be a completely separate page. So from here you can go click on home, you can edit that page if you want, click on About Me, notice it's a completely different page. If you want to edit any of these pages, you can click on Edit Page in the top right of your screen. If you've ever used any sort of Google Doc project, this will look very familiar to you, because it's almost the exact same layout as they have. So you can change your font, remember this bold, italic, underline thing. If I were to click on this HTML button though, you can actually edit your site with HTML like we did before. Can you work on this and customize it after class? Yes, most definitely. I encourage it, in fact. So you can actually edit the HTML just straight up. So let's go ahead, I'm going to do a couple tags just to show you. Notice that I can still use HTML. I bolded I really and really like turtles, and you can update your page. Do you not see it when you go to edit page at the top of your screen? There should be a button that says edit HTML source. Alright, cool. But you can also do it, it's a little bit easier to do it this way, honestly. It'll look the exact same, but you don't have to worry about the HTML. So alright, I see you're stuck on the About Me page. What are you stuck on? Have you created it? You've created it, but you're having some issues with what? How do you make an About Me page? Alright, again, to make an About Me page, you would click on Create Page in the upper right hand corner. You would name your page About Me and then hit Create. And that'll take you to this page here, and I'm seeing you can't go back to your home. You might be in the editor. Go ahead and click Cancel, and then you should be able to navigate your site freely. So I'm going to give you a second. Where's the cancel button? It should be up in the upper right when you're editing a page. So if I wanted to cancel this, I'd hit cancel, but I'm going to hit save. Alright, what did you do wrong? What do you see on your screen? Would you like me to unmute you so I can, excuse me, so I can talk to you? No? Okay. Alright. While he's doing that, go ahead and real quick, if you want to add some images to your home page, go ahead and do that, or images to your About Me page. You can do that via the editor, the edit page. You can add links. If you've already sort of done this, then what I would like for you to do is we're going to be making a blog on this page. Not on your About Me page, but we're going to be making a blog on your website. Did I get your email just now? Did I get your email? Let me check. Yes. This one? Your internet's slow, so you're having a little trouble. Alright, is there anything I can do to help at this point in time? Other than give you a couple minutes to explore? So I'll wait just a couple minutes. While you're doing that, I'm going to give you a quick poll just to see how I'm doing today. I know today's been a little bit hectic, but I hope I'm not completely going over your head here. Just tell me how I'm doing. Getting a very wide spread here, but the majority think I'm going too quickly. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Real quick, this is going to be anonymous. Just, if you're stuck at a point, please tell me where you are so I can go over that one more time. Or if you just need a couple minutes, you can also tell me that and I will leave you be. I give you a few minutes? Yes, I can. To those of you that don't need extra time, go ahead and start customizing your page. Do you want us to create the site once we are where you are or not? What do you mean create the site? Do you mean customize it? Because that's what I want you all to be doing right now. You mean this? What? I mean, you can create another page if you'd like. We're going to be creating one more page later on. If you'd like to go ahead and get started making this blog page, this is how you would get started doing it. Oh yeah, you're all good. I'll repeat this later, so don't fret if you don't get it now. When we do create a blog post, you're going to be using the announcement template. But I'll repeat that in a couple minutes. I'm going to give you about 4 more minutes to do some customization or to get caught up. Alright, Ben, did you make sure to share your site with me so I can see it? Yeah, you remember how earlier I told you to make it so you can only see it if you have a link? Or if you have, if you shared it with them specifically? Alright. So let me see. I'm going to not call you out, but I'm going to show this to everybody just so I can... Oh, doot. That's silly. Comic Sans, too? Oh, wee. It's pretty silly. Oops, let me go back. And if you think your page is at a good spot, go ahead and send a link to me if you shared it with me so I can take a look at it. You're just doing the About Me, right? You can edit your About Me, definitely. I would probably recommend editing the entire site layout so you can add a background. So you can add not pictures, but you don't have to edit just the About Me. I would recommend editing your entire site's layout, which includes adding some stuff about you. Alright, anybody need some more time? If you need more time, go ahead and say wait. Alright. Oh, okay, I won't go quite yet then. Do we have to email it to you? No, you do not have to. I just recommend sharing it with me at saunders.yeot@gmail.com. I think the site layout automatically adds any pages you make to your site, so you shouldn't have to worry about this step. Alright, we good to go? Alright. Another thing that you are able to do is change your layout from just a single block into several different columns or sidebars. So for example, if I wanted to, I could have a three column web page in addition with some headers, but that's not terribly important. What I want you to focus on, because you can do this on your own time, in fact I heavily encourage doing this on your own time, I want you to make sure that, hang on one second, sorry. One of these sections is empty, so if I were to choose a layout, keep one of these three empty, because we're going to add a preview to our blog posts on the front page. If you've ever seen a blog before, blogs usually will have one page that has a bunch of different posts on it, so you can, it acts sort of like an article in a newspaper. So that's kind of what we're going for in this case. How do you set an image as your background? Alright, that's a good question. We're going to need to go and edit the site layout. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on, let me remember that. Okay, JK, I lied. We're going to go ahead and edit. I guess it should work in layout, site layout. Because I know how to do it in HTML, I just don't know how to do it in the Google site formatting thing. Let me get back to you on that, Una. I don't know how to do it in sites. Alright. Yeah, I only know how to do it the old school style. So let's go ahead and create a new page. Ms. Saunders, are we going to get to bridges? Yeah, with the last couple minutes of class, we're going to start on bridges, and I do apologize. I really do want you to get your page done, though, and we are almost done. You haven't really missed too much, Marissa. I was just having them do, or have everybody adding stuff to their page, basically. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. I do really want to get to the bridges today, so we're going to have to go pretty quick. Let's go ahead and create a new page. Let's name it Portfolio. Let's use the announcements template. And put page at the top level. And hit create. Notice that this looks a little bit different than the About Me page, because this is meant to be your blog. This is where you'd actually keep your journal of the things that you do in webinar and in lab. You named your blog, is that okay? Yeah, definitely. I'm actually going to skip the themes. If you want to change your theme, you can. You just click on More Actions and then change Template. You can change the font color, you can add a background. I'm pretty sure this is where you add a background actually, in here. But again, because of the time thing, I have to keep going. And I'm sorry for those of you still working. Change the site title, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Now the last thing I'm going to have you do with Google Sites is adding your recent post to your home page. So obviously you don't have a blog post yet. So if you click on New Post, I'm just going to call it Untitled Post. And click on Save to save it. So let's go to your home page once you've written the blog post, and go ahead and edit it. Instead of writing anything, we're going to click on Insert, which is on the top left side of your screen. And underneath Gadgets, click on Recent Posts. Notice you can change some certain options on it. You can change the title, but once you save it, you'll get a link to your blog post. Again, I know I did that very quickly. Keep in mind that this is also going to be on the YouTube channel, and in fact, if you watch the high school webinar, they probably go more into depth than what I did, since I had to go very quickly. So I'd highly recommend watching a little bit of the high school webinar if you want more tips on formatting and making your site, look a little bit cooler. So that was very, very speedy. Does anybody have any questions? Questions that cannot be addressed in the YouTube video about this? Okay. And then on a completely different note, I'm going to go ahead and get started with bridges. Is everybody okay with that? Alright. The first thing I'm going to do is introduce the contests that we are going to be holding over the next week. And yeah, that's right, you heard it right. We're doing a contest. The contest is going to be to build a bridge that costs the least amount of money. Now, it probably seems like, well, what on earth do you mean a bridge that costs the least amount of money? And that's where the bridge design software that I had you download comes in. Okay, so over the next week, I believe let me see when the final deadline is. I believe it's just going to be at the end of the day next Monday. You're going to submit a file of a bridge that is able to hold itself up and hold a load that is equivalent to one truck length, or weight, sorry. You must do this by using the 2015 version of the software, which is the one I had you download. The cheapest bridge is going to win, and the earliest submission is going to win. If you don't have that link, here is the download. Make sure on Wednesday, oops, I think I might have sent that to the wrong person. Make sure on Wednesday that you have access to a computer, either a Mac or a PC, because you need to have one of those two to access this software and to do this contest. We're going to have a 7th and 8th grade winner, so that's going to be you guys, and a high school winner, so you don't have to worry about competing with them. Yeah, I'll send the link one more time actually to everybody in the chat box. We will be receiving a $20 gift certificate to Adafruit if you win. Adafruit is the people who, they make the Raspberry Pi, they make a lot of electronics kits, some of which you might have used in lab if you've done labs with us before. And I'll explain what all this stuff means later. Post the scores you get on Edmodo, and you can submit as many as you want, but really what we're looking for is the cheapest bridge that can conform to the design parameters. So the question is, what will we buy from them? I'm not going to have time today to go over the software properly, but basically this software lets you control almost every facet of building a bridge. Basically, we're going to have a 44-meter bridge that is going to be 24 meters from ground level, from the river level. And as you design this bridge, you can change the materials, you can change the supports. There's all sorts of things you can change, which you'll see in the software when we get there. Let me see if I can find it. But basically, when you get started, where is it? There will be a pop-up that says site cost. This is how much it's going to cost just to get your bridge started. That's not including any of the materials or labor to build this bridge. So material is going to be very important in building this. Are you all required to submit a bridge? You don't have to, but I would highly suggest you do. It'll be nice to sort of understand how bridges work. The software you download is actually a simulator. So let's see if I can find an image of it simulating real quick, and I'll go over this next class, so don't fret. You can also probably watch the high school lesson if you want to get a leg up on this competition, because I think they've gone over this today. Alright, so here's an example of a simulation here. Notice you can see which parts are going to fail in red. But where was I going here? I don't remember where I was going. Anyways, I want you to post everything on Emoto when we get there. Obviously, that's going to be Wednesday afternoon earliest. You will be able to do this since I haven't gone over this. But you have the software, so you can definitely give it a try to see what options you can customize. So, I guess I really don't have time to go over bridge today, other than introducing this competition. So TLDR, the rules are cheapest bridge possible that meets the specifications. Excuse me. What could you buy with $20 from Adafruit? It's a good question. I don't know. I haven't actually checked their website. You can buy Raspberry Pi stuff to further customize that, probably. So yeah. Oh, you're fine. Don't worry. I got your typo. Don't worry. So again, I don't have enough time to go over anything else. Do we have any questions on anything we did today? What is the Adafruit website? It's going to be adafruit.com, I believe. Yep. But definitely a cool little site here. All sorts of crazy stuff. Ooh. Interesting. Alright. So again, any questions on what we did today? Remember to watch the video if we addressed something, but I went a little bit quick. Alright, if you don't have any questions, you are free to go. If you do, go ahead and stay on and ask me. Other than that, I will see you on Wednesday. Alright, take care, everyone. And see you soon. And I'll stay on just for a couple minutes if there are questions. No problem. gonna head out. Thanks a bunch, everyone. Take care.